Clem. I mean, this one obviously comes back to Katowice. We talk about that a little bit because at the end of the day, that was a big matchup there that we obviously saw Zest getting the better of. And he is the blue Protoss top left-hand side of the map. This is our chance to see if our red Terran bottom right can exact some revenge. Honestly, this is a pretty tough second round matchup. It's one of these matches where it's like, it shouldn't happen in round 2. But because of the way we had to set up the tournament and certain things were just delayed a little bit due to... There's just a couple of problems. We just couldn't confirm players. Zest was like the last player we confirmed. Unfortunately, by then, seeding was already done. And because the seeding was already done, it meant that we just had to slip Zest in wherever possible. And then, you know, now he plays Clem's second round. Oh, it's a tough one. One of these players will advance to the winner bracket semi-finals. The other will drop to lower bracket round 2. We'll have to make a bit of a lower bracket run through this event, which is 100% possible for these guys. 100% possible. Of course, we'll see whoever wins and whoever loses again on Saturday. So again, the schedule today, we're going to continue with more round of 16 and winning bracket round 2 matches and lower bracket round 1 matches. And that's going to be the same tomorrow. We'll finish up all those rounds. And then on Saturday, we'll see winner bracket semifinals, lower bracket round 2, and lower bracket round 3. So again, that's our rough schedule for the next few days here as we continue our way through the WardiTV Winter Championship. Again, we'll be putting out as many games as possible for y'all. As we start up a pylon out over on the right-hand side. So Zest already looking towards an aggressive setup here. I know we've seen a few players have some successful aggressive openings against Clem lately. I think of Showtime the most. Showtime, who started adding on second gateways and a lot of adept pressure and stuff like that. You know, just things to try and throw Clem off early in the game. This is a second gateway from Zest, so absolutely looking to bring some pressure early on in the first map here. As we do, first of all, I hit my microphone, apologies. But this SCV going to come down and make its way out through to the center of the map. So SCV just kind of seeing what's up initially. The biggest thing is there's no second pylon. So immediately Clem is scouting, and he wants to try and figure out what's going on. This rally pattern, I want to say he's going to just spot it from here to here. Is that within his vision? If he goes exactly around the corner, I guess not, right? Oh no. Clem has a rough idea of what he wants to try and scout here. Oh, he sees the pylon. Okay, he gets it. So Clem gets the scout, and he is going to see it's a second gateway. Well, bunker at the front is absolutely necessary. And as he builds a Hellion, that is just going to be added defense. I think after one Hellion, probably just Tech Lab and go into the Cyclone, right? Something a little bit sturdier, a little bit more consistent at being able to just hold off these initial early game units. Easy to see this gateway wolfing into a Wolf Gate, couple probes on the way through still, and just going to be having everything still rallying out to the front lines. A couple of extra adepts open in from Zest. So this is pretty much exactly what Showtime was doing a lot against Clem a week or two ago. And we've been casting them in ESL Open Cup, Stay at Home Story Cup, etc. We saw a lot of stuff that looked like this. Now Clem, Hellion actually put some really good damage out here to begin with. Second Hellion shows up. You know, actually against the pure Adept opener, I actually quite like the second Hellion, because obviously you lose the first one, but a little bit of splash you get out of that really works well. As you're going to see a few more Stalkers around the right-hand side, and they are going to come down and make a look to kind of push in toward the natural, perhaps. So 3 Stalkers and an Adept sat in the front, and just going to be seeing a Marine just goes down before he gets into the bunker. This was not really ideal for Zest, right? All these Adepts went down. What did he really get out of this? 2 SCVs of 3 Marines. This is not a good early game trade for Zest at all. You know, you've got a gateway on the wrong position of the map, so that's something which Clem can clean up later as well. So it's a gateway that's going to be sacrificed at some stage. There are a lot of problems with Zest's position right now. What is good is the fact that these Stalkers obviously can put on some good pressure and pick off some SCVs. Obviously, the bunker is critical. You lose this bunker, you lose pretty much anything to fight these Stalkers with, because then the Marines get kited for days. So it's very important that Clem repairs the bunker, and in doing so, it puts the SCVs in trouble. That's when Zest can get an SCV kill or two. By getting a couple SCV kills, that's how he can start to pick his way back into this game a little bit. Another Adept shades forward, not going to find much at all. Starport off over to the side. Isn't Zest up 6 workers, though? Yeah, but being up 6 workers is, like, completely normal for a Protoss player, right? So, you know, as a Protoss, you want to be up about 8 or 9 workers usually in PvT. In this scenario, Zest, his third base isn't super quick because he's committed to aggression. His tech is delayed as well, so, yeah, the worker count's not far off maybe where you want it to be, but everything else is quite far from where you'd want it to be at this stage for no other real advantage, you know? See, if he was up, like, if he got another 5 worker kills and really expanded that lead, maybe that is enough to make up for the other problems. That's, you know, that's all part of the question, right? So, yeah, it's, yeah, definitely a little bit of a tough one for Zest, for sure, as you do see him pulling back. Stalker's going back towards the upper left-hand side. Couple sentries here are just, warping in, gonna join up and, come forward. So, sentries, Stalkers, going to settle down on the left side of the map. A hallucination of Zest going to go across to the bottom right-hand side to also try and see just what is going on. So Zest, again, looking to pick up that little bit of extra information. As this hallucination moves over, just going to come in toward the main. Again, a full scout of what's going on here with the command center on the main base as well. Our 2 medevac's going to go back toward natural. Impact finishes, +1 attack about to be done as well. Our Bio Army will now begin to move out to the far left-hand side. Marine just going to nibble away at this gateway, obviously just keeping track of it, making sure it doesn't get repowered or anything along those lines, right? That's information you'd like to have. As this little Bio Army sets up on the left, and looks as though we definitely have a potential to stim in here. Sentries didn't drop force fields or anything. Zest's going to lose the Immortal immediately. There's a cannon in range. I mean, this is kind of an awkward fight right now because you're not really target firing any one thing, but I mean, it's still good for Zest, for Clem, don't get me wrong. It's just, just maybe could have been even better. Going to continue to fight here. As we're going to be seeing the Bio still moving through. These couple Stalkers in some trouble. A couple Zealots going down. More Stalkers continuing to drop, and I'm going to come around from a couple different angles. At the end, you get enough units here to clean this up, push this back, but I like what Clem got done, especially, you know, killing off that Immortal. You know, tech unit count reset is always important. Beautiful little attack from Clem to get a lot done. Just going to move through. These couple Stalkers continue to get pushed back. Some Zealots start to run in. Going to continue to take some damage as well. A couple more units around this right-hand side. And Probes going to start dropping. I mean, this is just Clem reinforcing and having had a good fight to start with. Having a good time with it. He's going to go for this Immortal, which is obviously otherwise going to chunk through the Marauders. And that's going to be Clem picking up game number 1 of this best of 3. So GG's on that one. We dive into game number 2. As we have in the bottom right-hand side, the blue Terran player from Team Liquid. Give it up if you're cheering on Clem. Up against the red Protoss, top left-hand side. Not able to hold on that onslaught of Terran. It is Zest, and so much of that just comes down to the early game. An early game that was not successful for Zest, right? An initial push that just didn't really do enough. As Probes start a Chrono Boost out, just going to be seeing the Probe of Zest coming out down the bottom side. We get ourselves set up here for game number 2. Hoping to see a nice large map, honestly. Like, this would be kind of nice to see a nice large map, wouldn't it? Yeah, alright. Excited to see what game number 2 brings us. Would be nice to see a nice long game between the two of them. But, you know, that's not really how Zest plays, right? But Zest does play scrappy, low-tech, right? That sort of stuff. And I actually do think that sort of stuff could go very well in terms of giving us a more entertaining, you know, in terms of giving us a more entertaining kind of longer game in that regard, right? It doesn't have to be, like, teched up, masses of AoE, Ghost Lib. I'm looking for like a scrappy Clem's dropping, Zest is counter-attacking, Warp Prisming. Those sort of things, you know? So that's what I'm looking for as we go through this match. Sorry, I'm just trying to deal with a very quick admin issue on the other screen, guys. Now apparently I can't type my password in. Oh my god. There you go. Look like 7 attempts. Alright, bunker at the front. And as Clem makes sure he is safe in the early stages. Reaper hanging around. Just going to see the Adept shading forward. So there's a Reaper opening this time. Moving away from that kind of marine-only opening will give you a little bit more scouting information, etc. As we do have the Reaper poking around on the ramp. While I counts on the gateway just coming through and just blocking the entryway for that. This is not a pretty wall off, by the way. I don't know what Zest did. I don't know what Zest did. But whatever it is, it's not right? I mean, what is that wall off? Everything is here. Oh, it's like, oh, I don't want you to scout my main base, but, you know, by hopping up here, you're going to see everything anyway. Because I had to build everything here just to make sure you couldn't get in. That's a pretty wild wall, right? Like, it just, at what point does this wall off even, you know, is it even worthwhile? I guess it's just a misplaced pile on us, so. Right, we do go into the Widow Mine drop in a moment from Clem, so we'll keep our eyes on this to see how much damage can be done. 2 Widow Mines ready to go. 2 extra barracks building behind it. Tech lab on the factory already. I imagine there's going to be a tech lab stop, or maybe the factory stays on the tech lab. We get a tank out initially, stay safe defensively at home. Zest is just going to go 4 gates. Now, 4 gates, but a late Robo. So the Robo not really super quick. Usually you'd see Robo, then Twilight, then 4 gateways. This is a Robo after the Twilight and after Blink started, right? So this is not feeling like it's super aggressive, or like it's not the setup to be super aggressive, but then nothing is as it seems in this game because of this this wall off. So yeah, I'm not sure. As we do see the medevac coming up the left side, ready to go dropping in towards the back of this natural mineral line. So looking for a couple shots of damage right here. So medevac boosts in. First Widow Mine, second Widow Mine start a burrow. Okay, Stalkers blink and they will get the medevac, which means these mines are destined to die. But of course you build a prison before the Observer, which means that right now the only way to deal with these Widow Mines is by blinking out of them. Obviously he reveals the blink. Not sure that Clem really needed that revealing to him. I think he got a pretty good scout up here. Well, Prism coming across the map then. Let's see what we can do. What's our defense looking like from Clem? Not a lot. It's just Marines and a Raven. Oh, this is bad. He actually didn't go into anything defensively with the factory. I think the weird timings here are going to kind of catch Clem a bit off guard. His defense is not really in place. He's a way off stim. He's got a bunker, and that's about all. There's nothing good for him to fight in this main base. If Zest blinks up right here, Clem just has nothing at all. Here he goes. Sorkers blink up. The Adept got carried in. Something that can sit in the front lines, perhaps, as Zest will start a micro. Then realizes the trouble he's in. Pulls the SCVs, Marines from the natural bunker as we start to push on forward. Adept goes down. The other Stalker's in a bit of trouble. 13 SCVs killed. I mean, Clem's going to get the prison, but to what avail? He just has nothing to work with against 4 gates of Linked Stalkers. And yeah, the odd kind of timings of everything here, I imagine, has thrown Clem off a little bit and given Zest game number 2 in a tied-up series. Welcome back, everybody, as we go into game 3 of this. Not quite epic matchup yet, based on the way the games are going. Definitely epic by name, as in the top right, our Red Terran player Clem is taking on our Blue Protoss bottom left side Zest. Can't believe this is winners match round 2. Can't believe one of these guys has to drop to the lower bracket. Can't believe that, you know, you win this, you got to win a bracket semis. I guess obviously it's meant to get tough there, but I mean, favorite to come through that bottom side of, you know, the bottom side of the top half of the bracket is probably like Beyond, right? So you're looking about, you know, at the winner of this taking on Beyond potentially. I mean, obviously room for that to change. There's potentially Amani, Denver, and Geralt in his way, but yeah, that would happen on Saturday as well. Obviously, we will have the Beyond section of the bracket coming up after we finish off this kind of Clem, Zest, Mana, DNS section. So we do this series, then we do Mana vs DNS, then we're going to do Bjorn Geralt, Armani Denver, a winner's match and a loser's match again. And that will be us for the day. 8 best of 3s in total. So that's what things are looking like for now, guys. Just a little update, a little heads up as to where things are at. Quick reminder. But yeah, in general, this bracket's going to be stacked as we move on through and we get along, further along in the tournament. Going to be a lot of fun to work our way through it, as we do have our pro above Zest making its way up to the top side. Rack's about to finish up in the main base as Clem starts his first Marine. Orbital command on the way, and is going to place a command center in the natural in the next couple of moments. So expansion each, Zest is going to go back to the aggressive way of playing. So coming across the map and, well, building a pylon on the top side right from the start. Now there's our gateway going down. And the reactor coming up from Clem, rallying out towards this Marine command center building. It's going to be seeing our SCV pulling back. So CC is coming through, and again, just going to be seeing the gateway. Just to allow Zest to get these adepts. Now, he really messed it up last time. I don't think this is a bad build. A few people have been doing it, and we've seen it succeed. You just can't give up the adepts. He lost the adepts for 0 gain. So you got to be a lot better about that if you want to be successful here as Clem. In this game, scouting, he sees again just that 1 pylon main base, right? So he's definitely a little concerned. Will build the bunker. He's SCV scouting again this time. Actually, not really SCV scouting this time. Just putting the SCV back home. Compared to the first game, he really did intentionally move around the edges of the map to try and see what was going on. I like this from Clem's second bunker in the mineral line. So if these adepts do shade by, you've got a second bunker to kind of rally back to. And he's got a very good read on just what's happening, huh? He is not afraid to just say, I know what you're doing, Zest. That's incredible. I don't know what you actually see to make this read. To set up that bunker. I actually, like, there must be something which Clem has seen here to kind of say, right, well, I'm going to need... I just don't know. I don't see what it is. I don't know what he's seen in particular or not seen that's kind of triggered him to do this. It's smart. It's the right decision. As Zest is going to shade adepts in, and guess what? They are once again going to have a pretty darn bad time. This time, what? 2 of them are going to get away. And what do you gain? I mean, you force a second bunker. I'm just going to see a few more adepts just going to be coming through. No second pylon in the main base. Yeah, but no second pylon in the main base can also just be a proxied Stargate, right? Like, then this second bunker makes no sense at all. You know, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, there's certain... Like, yes, I can get it. You can see... Like, you've obviously noticed something is up. But to identify fully that it's, like, the adept variation... I guess no double gas, yeah. Single gas in the main. Nexus timing. There you go. See, everyone in chat's real smart, huh? Are we calling this the parting build? Did parting start this off? It's going to be a glaive follow-up this time around. So something a bit different from Zest. Not warping in any stalkers and continuing with the depths. Very different from what we saw last time. So yeah, going to go glaives instead of blink. Which is definitely a bit of a different way to go around it. I guess the gas in the main base is a pretty big tell, right? When you get in at the timing that Clem got in, I should have paid more attention to his SCV scout time. But Cybercore is done, no second gas. It's a pretty huge tell, isn't it? It kind of makes me wonder if this, like, to some, like, now that this build is kind of known about, I start to wonder how good this build actually is, right? Because if you can just figure it out by your single SCV scout early in the game, you see no second gas. I mean, that can't be good, right? I mean, Clem can just prepare so well for this. I mean, obviously, Clem's now seen how many adepts are out here. No sight of a stalker, and I mean, he's still building Marauders. Now, it's kind of a weird mix, because Marauders are very tanky against the adepts. But Marines are where the real damage output's going to be, so... Still building 2 Marauders at a time. He actually salvages this bunker. I wouldn't have minded him keeping that. It does slow down his mining a little bit, but you're about to have adept shade into your natural expansion. +1 attack is about to be done. That's actually terrifying, because now we're going to get to this point where Adepts 2-shot Marines. Oh, they're not Marines. They're 2-shot SCVs, because the Marines have combat shield, of course, by now. So, let's see. These Adepts are going to shade forward. They're going to... I mean, they have to just fight the army, right? There's no way you can make this work otherwise. We dive straight on into this. SCVs are going to pull into it. Will the Adepts die? SCV count is already being dismantled as Zest just comes straight through. There's a different bunker in the back here for Clem, but he's just dead. You know, against Adept attacks like this, you oftentimes usually need to see something like a wall-off, right? Stop the Adepts from ever getting in until you really get to that massive bio, which is going to be way too much. That obviously just did not happen here, and Clem gets thrown down to the lower bracket just like that. Zest still is going to go through to the winner bracket semifinals to play on Saturday.